Yes, we're back.
We are back.
Talking about Funimation, man. Love-hate relationship we have with them. But it's your boy, Kanadon.
And I'm Natica.
It's the Love First podcast. We have some amazing things to talk about. We're going to give a review on She-Hulk. We're also going to talk about this week's keys to success. Before we could do that, let's shout out the sponsor before we could do that. Y'all been making them own language. But let's shout out these sponsors. Shout out Exodus Production Studios. They are a one-stop shop in Harlem if you need to do your podcast, if you want to record your music, or if you want to get your music video, photography done. And like you even said, events. They got the event space right there, all in Harlem. So all you got to do, hit us up in the DM. We can let you know how you get that Love First discount. You know what I'm talking about? Also, shout out to Manscaped. Can't forget Manscaped. The ladies love Manscaped. LL Manscaped.
I will be waiting for that foot cream.
Oh, the foot cream. They just dropped the foot cream. Use that discount code. It's going down. All right. Oh, let them know too.
Oh, yeah. And shout out to Metzli Shop who made these
Metzli.
beautiful earrings.
Yes.
That I won't be able to actually weigh or like lift its actual weight in
real life.
It's like 240 something pounds. That's more than twice as much as
I'll do it for both of us.
There
Be
careful.
Flexing, I like that. There you go.
Yeah.
It's going down. Actually, before I give my show review on She-Hulk, we were actually talking about Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball superheroes. Yes, this is my nerdy son coming out. Shout out to all my Dragon Ball fans. So I finally seen the movie. My wife went to sleep during it. It's not.
Says everything you need to know. Just kidding.
Nah, I mean I enjoyed the movie. It was funny too because I told her, I was like, yeah, we got to go see this movie. It's out. Like, I forgot it was coming out, right?
Yeah.
And then she had to work late and something. So I was like, I called her. I was like, yo, you know what? I was like, do you mind if I just go see it without you real quick? She was like, oh, yeah. Go.
Without skipping a beat.
Yeah, she was like, go do that. I was like, word. But then I ended up getting, like, caught up with some work or some stuff. So I ended up not getting to see it by myself. So I was like, oh, no, you get to go. She was like, oh.
Is it like in theaters right now, or? So
yes, it's in theaters. I actually seen it in IMAX. The visuals were great. They used some CGI stuff. The storyline, I felt like it could have been better. I'm just happy to see new movies by it, so I'll shout out that. But I think one of the best fan feedbacks I heard was just like the movie would have been better if like the villain they fought, like half of the superheroes didn't even fight the villain. You know, so at least if that villain would have just kind of like beat up all the superheroes, like from Goku, Vegeta, and Broly and them, and then Gohan transform, you know what I mean? It would have been crazy. So I think they could have.
We need like the action.
We need the action. He should have been running through everybody, and then when somebody steps up and transforms to a new thing, y'all be like, yo, it's popping. You know what I mean? I know I don't really have Dragon Ball fans in the studio, so we're going to move on to the next show. But Stacks knows what it is. Shout out to all my Dragon Ball fans, man. That's the key to success right there. But She-Hulk, right? Marvel, they dropped a new TV show limited series on Disney Plus. So I went to go check it out. I thought the trailer was pretty interesting. The fact that it is the Hulk, you know, a great character. And then it was kind of like a lawyer show. And I'm very into lawyer shows. So I thought this was dope. To be honest, I'm not like the biggest Marvel fan in the world.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, but my wife is. She loves Marvel, you know. So when I seen they had the Marvel stuff and then they had the lawyer show, I was like, oh, this is something, you know, both rock with. After I seen it, yo, it blew my mind. This is probably my number one show this year right now.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's a fire show. They got great cameos from the people you love in Marvel. I ain't gonna give away none of the storyline. Mm-hmm. But I will say even Meg Thee Stallion shows up, and there may be some twerking from She-Hulk. May or may not be some twerking going on. So, you know, when Meg Thee Stallion's involved, you know it goes down. But I thought it was dope how they threw Meg in there, and just the cameos where the storyline seems to be going.
Yeah.
I think we're only 4 episodes in.
Are they like releasing
weekly, unfortunately?
Okay, yeah. That makes sense for Disney Plus.
Yeah, I like it when it's all out there, but I get it. You know, subscription based. You gotta give them some news so they could
Yeah.
come back.
Yeah, like, I haven't watched the show, but I want to see it because I love Jamila Jamil.
Yeah.
I love her. She was hilarious in The Good Place.
Yes.
And yeah, and it's just so exciting to see her in this other role.
Wait. Who was she in The Good Place?
She was oh shoot, what was her name? Oh my God, Tahani.
Yes. Okay. All right. Yeah. Tahani. Yeah. Okay. I know what character you're talking about now. Yeah. Because somebody was pointing that out, and I was like, oh, weird.
Yeah, because
I
she
really
looks
love
so
The Good
different
Place.
in the She-Hulk.
Yeah, she's different.
Yeah, she's like wearing a wig, and she's just like.
It's different.
Yeah.
She might be a hero. She might be a villain. I don't know. Gonna find out.
Yeah, I'll have to find out.
But yeah, I would say out of 10, I would probably give the show a 9.5.
Okay.
And that's because I'm very like stingy with 10s. I feel like nothing's really like perfect. Like you gotta be perfect. But just how they have the action, how they have the Marvel what's that word? Like nostalgia from it. And then the storyline that they actually have going on. You know, I think it's pretty dope. And then to see a woman in that prominent position.
Yeah.
Then it has some funny scenes where they say you got to wonder if she's stronger than the Hulk, you know?
Yeah, so. It's really cool to see how, like, you know, with the success of WandaVision, like, then.
Way better than WandaVision, how it kicks off. Yeah.
Really? Because I loved WandaVision.
I loved WandaVision too. This one gets right to it. Like, that's the only thing I didn't like about WandaVision. It take a minute to build up. The first time I seen WandaVision, I stopped because I was like, I'm not watching no black and white, right? I thought it was a black and white show with WandaVision. So I was like, yeah, this ain't for me. Then I heard it was good, so I was like, all right, let me get through it. And then finally I see they brought the color in. But this one, from the get-go, from the jump, A1.
Okay.
A1. So I recommend everyone see it if you like it, if you love it. Remember where you heard it first. And just know we got some movies and TV shows coming to our app too as well. And then, you know, I'm gonna see if we talk to Disney, maybe get y'all some discounts for rocking with us on the podcast. So we're gonna reach out to Disney, see if we can get y'all some lower memberships on the Disney Plus for all of that, right? That makes sense. Sounds good. Yo, word, it's going down. Yeah, we're gonna be in one of these Disney movies. Yo, I should be the next Wakanda, right?
Let me tell you, as a Colombian, speaking of Disney and like wanting to act and stuff, like people would always tell me that my singing voice sounds like a Disney princess. I'm like, oh, cool, awesome. And like when they came out with the announcement that they were making a movie based in Colombia, I was like, I need to be in this movie. I need to be in this movie. And I remember like asking all my friends who are actors, who have connections in you know, acting and whatnot. I'm like, oh my God, who can I talk to about this? Like, I spent hours Googling trying to find how can you get an audition. And I mean, unfortunately, like, I didn't get anywhere, but I was, the fact that I had that, there was that representation, you know, and anyway.
What movie was filmed in Colombia?
Encanto, but it wasn't filmed. It was a Pixar movie.
Oh.
And the thing was, the directors, they originally intended to make a movie based on like South America, and their first stop was Colombia. And they were like, you know what? Let's just focus on one country. Let's just focus on Colombia. Like, they fell in love with the country.
Yes.
If you have never been to Colombia, like, you should go.
Yes, I haven't been yet.
I haven't seen the whole country. Anyway, this is going on a tangent, but like, yeah, Disney.
Yeah. Disney is going down. Also, Colombia, get my passport right.
Yes, get your passport.
Let's go. Renewing that junk.
Go to Cartagena.
Yes, I'm going. I don't even know how to say it, but I'm going. We're going out there. All right. Yes, make sure you like, follow, subscribe. If you got this far, y'all should be liking already. Like the video, follow, subscribe, wherever you are. If you're watching this from YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, wherever it is, man, make sure y'all stay on top because we got content coming for y'all. Content.
Oh, yeah.
Now, this week's major keys to success: invest in relationships. I kind of wanted to dive into that because that's something that really stood out to me. And that's what I kind of found myself doing a lot lately. I mean, for a long time now, but especially a lot recently. Just really investing in the relationships I have. So some notes I kind of had on that was so there's many different types of relationships that can boost your chances of success in life. For example, the relationship you need most may be a friend who has no connections but supports you when times are tough.
Yeah.
You know, maybe the relationship you need is with a competitor, someone to challenge you and keep you sharp. In particular, pursue a mentoring relationship, which can lead to networking opportunities and invaluable advice. We know that the lack of these relationships can be the biggest gap between success and failure. You know, so if you're intimidated by the idea of networking, don't worry, you're not alone. You know, so learning how to network effectively, it takes time, it takes intention and practice. Everyone finds it intimidating at first, but it's important to face those fears and do it anyway. And people kind of look at me as like, because I talk to a lot of people, is like, oh, you don't get nervous, you just have that in you. No, look, listen, I always start off nervous, and then I almost look at it as like a time ticker. It's like, you know what? Dang, I've been here for a while. I haven't talked to anybody. I need to take advantage of this situation. So just having that hunger, and it's just like, I'm going to go out there and say something. The first two people I say something to, it might not sound right, but at least by my third person, my speech will be a little better, and I'll kind of know what I'm trying to say. So the networking factor, practice, and just be hungry. You got to be hungry for that, and that's what's going to make you talk to people. But the different type of relationships I thought was so important, because it's not just about who has the most connections. Like, what if you need supporters at the end of the day? Who's going to be there for you when you make that call, like, yo, I need you, or I got a show, or I just came out with this new product and I want your advice on it, or maybe you could come out and just be there supported. And then the same aspect, you might have friends who have relationships and things like that, and you when investing in these relationships is also invest in time, right? Yeah. Having conversations, not just calling people when you need something, but actually seeing how they're doing, you know what I mean, on their days off. Like, I'll use an example, like Stacks, man, shout out to Stacks again. He's on the ones and twos with the camera, and he helps us produce our show. He does music and stuff too, so make sure y'all check him out. But instead, and I'm kind of busy, so I'm trying to get better at, like, calling people, like, how you doing, instead of just like, hey, it's time to work, you know? So in between of us just working, I've had, like, certain times when I call them, like, hey, how you doing? Or you just want to go out and check this out, or something like that. And that's something that I struggle with, that, like, I'm working on, like, you know, and I probably need to do that with you a little more too. And I think because I think most of the time we do talk, it is work, you know. So I'm gonna try to check up on you.
But I'm also,
she's ready to work. She's like, oh, it's quiet, it's working. Let's go.
When you called me the other day, I was on the beach. I was like, what's up? Like, I felt like I'm a businesswoman in my bikini.
Yes.
You know, like, whatever.
Yes, exactly. And that's why I love y'all. Y'all are ready to work, and y'all are hungry for this, and y'all make things happen. Like, you know, y'all schedules are crazy. I know how much you got going on. And kids, and you guys still find a way to be there. So that's why I try to do whatever I can to nurture the relationship. And the biggest thing anyone can do is communicate. Communication is free. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. So take advantage of communication, because I do have some friends that just because the communication isn't there, now we're not talking as much, and maybe we're not getting things accomplished when they could just take a phone call or conversation. Shout out my boy JUXX. I know I got to call you back. I love you, bro. And that's somewhere, you know, I'm working on too. So we're not perfect, but just letting everyone know, when you invest in these relationships, it could be life-changing. Like, these people that became presidents, they knew people who helped put them in a position. They didn't wake up like, I'm going to be president one day. So even to get to that, you got to do networking.
You have to cultivate those relationships. Like, we were talking about this before we started filming, about, whatchamacallit, planting those seeds.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And, like, you know, you were talking about how you have a lot of projects coming about, and, like, it's going to take time for these projects to come to fruition. They're not going to all happen at the same time, but it's the same thing with people, with the relationships you make. I mean, like, I have to say that the majority of the work that I do and the kind of jobs I've done have been a result of the people I know. Like, I remember when I graduated from college and I applied for internships and jobs, and I arrived, like, you know, bright and bushy-tailed to the interview, and I had my my college diploma as like a laminated card that you could put in your wallet, and I was like showing it off. I'm like, I graduated from Queens College this year, like, yeah. And they're always like, tell me a joke. Like, that's what happened to me in one interview, and I completely clammed up and I told a badly told story. Like, it was not compelling at all. Like, I can't even tell that story anymore because I remember that horrible interview. But like, after that, you know, I was able to continue to cultivate the relationships that I had with my peers, people that I went to college with, people that I went to high school with, people from my church community, people from my neighborhood, the neighborhood where I grew up. And like, and I wasn't even seeing it as like, oh, I'm here to do business with you. It's like, you're a homie, you're a friend.
Yes.
And like, eventually people just think of you, you know, like, it might be like the most randomest of things, but like, I've just taken the opportunities where they come, and they would not have happened if it weren't for the people who these relationships I've cultivated with.
Yes.
And yeah, it's amazing. You don't see it like tomorrow, but you kind of like look over time and you realize, wow, like, the world is so small, and like, you never know what opportunities await.
And I love what you said too about the cultivating, because that's a major key. Cultivating, and that's even just taking a deep dive into that word. I encourage everyone to look up that word and everything that means, cultivating, right? Because like what you said is like, just communicating with people and cultivating these relationships, it'll get to a point where they just think of you. Like, you know, you're in their head. So it's kind of like, and that's what people also have to do. You can't be like, hey, I met this person 10 years ago. I knew this person for 10 years. No, did you cultivate the relationship? Did you make it grow to the point that 5-10 years later, we're going to think about you? At least like, hey, did you say happy holidays when the holiday came around? Did you do this? Did you do that? Right. So the biggest key is to figure out how can you cultivate these relationships to the point that you can be on their mind. And when opportunity does come up, it's as simple as that. Because I be knowing a lot of people, and sometimes I have certain opportunities, and I'll really just forget everything. I'll be like, I don't know anybody. I'm like, dang, I wish I knew. You know what I mean? And it's all about, well, how do people stay in your head? And then you realize, oh, okay, put them on. So invest in your relationships, cultivate the relationships, communicate, which is free. You don't even need $1 for that.
Yeah. And even if, like, I've found that I've been able to maintain the relationships that I have now, even if I'm not able to fully commit. Like, I'm part of this one collective based in Queens. Shout out to Diverse Streets Initiative. And they're a collective of artists, musicians, vendors. Actually, Metzli Shop is part of that collective. Right. That's how I met her. Okay. Community, building those relationships. Yes. And there have been times where, like, I cannot attend their event because I'm busy. But, like, I let them know, hey, I can't make it. Yeah. But I'm letting you know now, I really wanted to be there. And, like, you know, let me see what I can do next time. And there was, like, another time where they had an event, and I could only come in, like, the last hour, but I showed up because I could. I mean, it helps having a car. But, like, but even if you can't be there completely, like you said, being supportive, being a support system. Yes. Even if you can't be present, like I still consider myself part of that community. And that's something that's really important to me. And I don't really see it as like, oh, this is like, I don't want to be like an opportunist in this type of thing. Like, like I have an emotional attachment to their core mission, you know? And like, for me, if I'm connecting with someone, if I'm cultivating a relationship, there has to be something that draws me to them.
Yeah.
Even if it means we're like complete opposites, that's okay.
Yeah,
That's still interesting too. So, yeah.
Yeah, and even what you said about dang, I just had a brain. Just had a brain. Dang, it's something that you just said that really stood out to me. What did you just say? Like the last.
Cultivating, communicating, core mission.
Oh,
mission
there we
values,
go.
yeah.
Yes. All right. So something that you really said that stood out. Another key to success is because we can't be present everywhere, but can you be supportive?
Yeah.
Right. And then that's another way that you can cultivate a relationship. Like, there's people I know in California. I can't go to all the stuff they have in California all the time, but I at least try to support from a distance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And even if you can't do nothing outlandish to support, throwing a comment, throwing a like on social media, all that stuff is like free or whatever.
Yeah.
Reposting it, or just let them know, hey, like, yo, I seen that. Good job giving some feedback on it. But if you can't be present and you still want to cultivate the relationship, be supportive. And that's another way to invest in relationships. By cultivating it, being supportive, communicating.
Yeah.
These are ways.
Yeah.
So
people don't want to feel like they're being used. So like if you're giving them, if you're telling them like, this is as much as I can give right now.
yes.
But I care. You know, the majority of people will be like, okay, I respect that.
Exactly. You know, and then it's important to be clear because I've seen like from both sides things like that will happen accidentally. Like even if somebody may not necessarily be trying to use somebody, but if you're showing these factors and these symptoms, you know what I'm saying, and you're not checking up on there, or you're not kind of being supportive or present in that thing, and that might not be your thing. It's like, I'm not trying to use that person, but if you're not doing those things, it's gonna come across as a user, and then people are gonna distance, you know, from that. So that's why it's very important. I love that word, cultivate, even more than invest in relationships. Like, cultivate that.
Because like
thing, man.
invest has like a monetary sort of connotation.
Yeah.
And then cultivate has a more like a community.
Yeah, it reminds me of like farming,
Person-oriented.
like a harvest, right? Like it's like you plant these seeds and you're gonna yield a harvest.
I'm imagining like the farmer and the wife with the pitchfork. I don't know.
Yeah,
Stupid.
I'm
But yeah.
Yes, cultivate, invest in those relationships, and let us know if that key to success, does that touch you? Let us know keys to success that you want to hear us talk about in future episodes. We have a bunch of guests that are going to be coming on in these future episodes soon.
I'm super excited.
We also have we got Stacks, who's going to be on camera. Y'all going to see him on camera soon. We have our favorite Republican coming back to the show, Steve. He's going to share his feelings why people should vote Republican during the midterms, and we're gonna throw out some challenges out there. But we like to get diverse thoughts and processes because people feel like we lean left. I guess that's what you would say. That's Democratic, right?
Honestly, these days I feel like Democrats, Republicans, it's just two sides of the same coin.
Yeah, me too. So that's where I'm at. But they feel like we lean left. So we got our right-wing guests, and we give him all the respect he loves being here, the respect that we give him, and the freedom that we give him to say his piece, and then we challenge it. We challenge everybody. You know, we want to look to the truth. Me personally, I look at it the way you do. I feel like they're just two sides of the same coin. It feels like a giant corporation, and these people are just the spokespeople. But that's another day, another chapter. Yeah, so if you made it this far, make sure you're liking, subscribing, follow. Kwame says hi. We took it down off the streaming platforms because we have some new like publishing things on the table.
Okay.
So it's good. So we took it down for good. But like it's coming back October. So if y'all surprised, like, yo, what happened? Like the re-release is coming back October. All the songs will be there. Me, Natica, and Stacks were just talking about booking some studio time, probably here at Exodus Studios. And And we're gonna flood y'all with some new music. So the old music's coming back for the people that have been reaching out, like, what happened? And I be talking about conspiracy theorists. So they're like, yo, they trying to get you. Look what they did to your music. I was like, no, I did that.
You know, quick side thought.
Yeah.
Today, while I was on my way to pick up Dylan from the airport, I noticed on the FDR, it said, sponsor a highway. Have you seen those signs, the sponsor a highway signs?
Oh, no.
And on one of those sponsors was Spotify. And I'm like, okay, Spotify has the revenue to sponsor a highway, but they can't pay their musicians enough.
Nah, because they're too busy sponsoring highway. Spotify need to pay more. For real, man. I encourage all of y'all, man. Don't wait on that Spotify money, man. Talk to the music supervisors. Get your music into films and video games. Because these royalties kind of crazy. Like I was telling people, like my first album I dropped before Apple Music and Spotify, I sold not even half the copies I did with my music now, and I made like quadruple more back then.
Because it was through iTunes sales?
Yeah, iTunes sales, CDs, and it's like the worth of music is just crazy. But we're going to implement something, and artists, we got to come together and let people know our music is still worth something. So we're going to do that. Anything they should look out for before we go and they see us next week? Or, you know.
Well, you just reminded me of this one thing. If you're going to put your music on streaming platforms, make sure that you're collecting all the royalties like you were saying.
Yes.
Because there was like some news about some guys that like scammed a bunch of artists out of their money. Like they played off as they were a publishing company. Did you heard about that, right? Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, they stole like a lot of money.
Yeah.
A lot. I forgot if it was like $50 million.
And ooh, that's crazy.
Hold on, I gotta look this up.
Yo, bring that up. But yo, before y'all sign any contracts with the publishing companies, look up the publishing companies, read these contracts. I mean, we live in a research world where it's so easy to research. So there's no excuses nowadays for getting scammed like the way we do. So just do a little research. If it sounds too good to be true, it's possibly it is. Do some research on it. Don't just jump for it, but that's crazy.
Yeah, I think I might have found it. Oh man. I probably should have looked this up. Like, you literally just reminded me of this.
Yeah. I was about to shout out. You know what? I'm going to shout out my new publishing company after the first check. And they getting the shout out. Can't be shouting them out too early.
I know, you know what it is? I got an email about it from Ari Herstand, who is a podcaster, and like he has a blog called Ari's Take.
Yeah.
Let me see. YouTube.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, we might have to do an episode on scams because like coming up, so many scams, bro. You know what? We might have to talk about that on your episode when you come in there. Cause yo, I especially when I first started, I was a victim to scams in here. Like it's crazy. For real, that's how you know you're a real entertainer is when you got scammed at least once. You gotta get scammed at some point.
Oh, boom! I found it. All right.
There we go.
YouTube content ID scam. Men allegedly stole $20 million by claiming royalty payments from other songs.
That's crazy.
Yeah, from the YouTube content ID. So you gotta be careful about that.
Yes, and that's what people should also realize too is like, if you have podcasts or YouTube or certain platforms, if you put your music in that, that's also a good way to make money off your music. So like if you have a platform or anything video like this where you're putting it up on Facebook, this and that, put your music in it, you know? Even if y'all have songs y'all want me to put in, but that's really why I be putting some of my songs in the intro of the videos because it makes the numbers go up, streams, you know, you get income from it.
Yeah.
I think Facebook pays a little better than YouTube on that.
I think you guys need to do a song called Love First. I think that would be cool.
Yo, let's do it.
How should it sound? It should be like slow jams, or should it be like or like what are we or like ballads
track.
like?
Should be like a dance track.
I think the harmony, that's you, Nati, and then Kwame gonna be the character. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we can. I feel like it should be like a up-tempo track.
Yeah,
Up-tempo.
Little Florida bounce to it.
Yeah. All right, we cooking up, man. Next time y'all see us, man, the new music is on the way. On Instagram, you can follow me at The Real K to Don.
You can follow me, Natica Music, on Instagram, Natica Music, all in one, on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. Yeah.
And then Stacks, where can they follow you on Instagram? Stack Skrilla Music on Instagram. Make sure y'all follow my guy. Y'all gonna see him at the end of the month on the episode. Well, I don't like to throw time frames because by the time we drop it, it might be like the first week of October. But soon come. So with that being said, we love you guys, and remember, why hate when you can love first? It's the Love First podcast. Yep.
I've never done ambassador or partnership programs, even though I get a lot of unsolicited DMs from random profiles, because I'm not going to promote something I don't like or believe in. But when Areli of Metzli Shop announced her affiliate program, I literally jumped at the opportunity because I already own some of her jewelry and I truly love them. All of Metzli Shop's jewelry is nickel-free, and these butterfly earrings were so cute, lightweight, didn't irritate my ears at all, and I got so many compliments on them. If you like what you see, head over to Metzli Shop's page and use promo code NATICAMUSIC for 15% off your next purchase.
You have my own restaurant.
Man! Wait, man. Hold on. I just
Man.
came to tell you about something that's going to change your life.
Man!
It's going to change your life. The Love First
Where did
TV
you come
app.
from?
Man, that's so important.
But you better say something.
What is important is the Love First TV app.
What?
It's available for all iOS and Android devices. It'll literally change your life if you want to start a business, if you want to get funded, and just be inspired. I got you right here. So all you have to do is hit subscribe and watch it change your life. Just don't hit me. Just hit subscribe. Yeah.
Don't cry when I come around, I wanna see you smile. Don't cry when I come around, I wanna see you smile. You could call me daddy, cause I'll always be here to hold you tight in my arms and protect you. You could call me daddy, cause I'll always be here to hold you tight in my arms and protect you.
You can see Love First TV inspired me to begin my little dream. And the finance channel helped me get the money to start my little entrepreneur dream. Which is this, as you see, right here.
Hello everyone, it's Kwame Dickerson, aka K to Don. I'm the CEO and founder of Love First TV. It's the app that'll literally change your life. From our Love First podcast, where we inspire you, give out keys to success, our finance channel, where we teach you how to start up your business, get funding for your business, and a whole lot more. We have web series, comedy shows, game shows, the list just doesn't stop. And we have a bunch of tutorials that'll teach you just about anything. So all you have to do is download the app to your phone, your iPhone or Android device, and then from there you just pick a plan. It's only $5 a month. Or you can sign up for our most popular plan, which is our annual plan. You save 17% on that. It's only $50, that's right, only $50 for the year, and that's a one-time fee. So make sure you sign up and unlock your keys to success today. Love First TV.
Yeah, but seriously though, how'd you get into my house, man?
Yeah, I mean, that's not important.
Alright, okay, if you say so.
What up everyone, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and hit that notification bell for the latest podcasts, music videos, and comedy skits. We got a lot more content coming your way.
We here all day, baby!
Yeah.
Subscribe to the channel, baby!
East Coast know I'm rockin' with y'all. West Coast know I'm rockin' with y'all. North side know I'm rockin' with y'all. South side know I'm rockin' with y'all. I'm still riding with my day cause I'm rockin' with y'all. Polk County, throw your hands cause I'm rockin' with y'all. Long Beach, throw your hands cause I'm rockin' with y'all. Throw some bread in the air cause I'm rockin' with y'all.
What up everyone, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and hit that notification bell for the latest podcasts, music videos, and comedy skits. We got a lot more content coming your way.
We here all day, baby!
Yeah.
Subscribe to the channel, baby!
East Coast know I'm rockin' with y'all. West Coast know I'm rockin' with y'all. North side know I'm rockin' with y'all. South side know I'm rockin' with y'all. I'm still riding with my day cause I'm rockin' with y'all. Polk County, throw your hands cause I'm rockin' with y'all. Long Beach, throw your hands cause I'm rockin' with y'all. Throw some bread in the air cause I'm rockin' with y'all.
I'm Bo Redder, a go-getter, mo wetter, low redder, dough getter, so better, faux wetter, no never, so clever, go weather or not, the teapot or the beat.